There's this whole narrative that, oh, Asian girls are always with like white boys and they're getting colonized. And
the only reason why girls get the most hate is because of the internalized racism. A lot of Asian girls love coming on this platform and preaching that they love white men and that they'll never date an Asian guy, their own kind.
What kind of guys do you like?
White boys.
I'm not into Asian guys. Why not? The thing is, they're a lot shorter than I am, which is something that I can't.
And the thing is, majority of us guys don't care. We just hate that you guys just bash on your own race. Like, there's a huge difference between having a preference and like literally like, hating on your own kind.
Common thing that many Asian women say, which is, I'm not attracted to Asian men because they look like my brother, uncle, etc. Article points out, do you ever see white women or Latina women saying, I can't date white or Latina men because they look like my brother or father? Here's the thing, all women should be able to date whoever they want, but you can date whoever you want without insulting the men of your own race. Ideology hurts our whole.
At the end of the day, just do you, girl. Whatever makes you happy. Just don't make us feel any less than.
Hey guys, welcome back to Liminal Period. It's your girl Chun-Li Shoddy. On my channel, I like to make social commentary as well as do reactions to conversations that have really sparked an interest within me. I hope to be able to bring these conversations to you guys so that we can have discussion and learn more about each other as well as come to a middle ground. 2024 America has become so polarizing and so extreme in the way that we think and the way that we speak and the way that we interact with each other. So I hope that my channel is a place that we can all come together and just have that conversation. So I've had conversations from the gender pay gap to trans women within sports. However, the most popular videos on my channel are typically the ones where I discuss male and female dating dynamics. And specifically within that dating category, the more popular videos are going to be the ones where I've actually discussed specifically the Black community and Black men when it comes to dating. And it really frustrates me. I know I shouldn't be checking out the comment section, but I am human. My channel is new. I only started posting in February, so I'm still trying to understand the climate of YouTube as well as understand how to interact with people, because I tell you guys, I really am an introvert. I received a lot of positive comments as well as people supporting me and showing their appreciation for my channel. And on one hand, I love you guys and I want to show my appreciation for you guys as well. However, the goal of my channel was not to preach to the choir. I did not want to just share messaging that resonated with people. I wanted to share conversations that would spark discussion. I wanted to be able to bridge that gap between men and women, between Black and white, between Asians and Hispanics, between everyone. Because for me, all of these immutable traits are things that have been used as distractions and things that have been used to polarize us. So for me, even though I discuss these things, for me, it is irrelevant. So it really hurts me and pains me to see that the most criticism I receive on those videos are from Black women, the ones that I actually want to see the change in. And I know that may come off condescending, but what I mean by that is the conversations that I have on my channel is not from a place of malice. I want to be able to bridge the conversation and relationship between Black men and Black women so that you guys can have more happiness and more love within your life. I don't want to see more Ebony K. Williams and more Vivica A. Fox. I want to see happy, married, successful people of all colors. So anyways, it really, honestly, it does hurt me because I also wonder, how do my female cousins or aunts think about the videos I create? You know, are they interpreting it in a way that I didn't intend for it to be? So I see the criticism and I see you guys asking why I don't talk more about the Asian relationship dynamics. And because I am Asian and Black, why don't I talk about it? Well, to be quite honest, within America, the Asian population and Asian community is very quiet. Even though we are a bigger minority group, we tend to keep our heads down and just stay focused and accomplish that American dream. You're not going to see a whole bunch of Asian people involved in politics. You're not going to see them involved in Hollywood. You're not going to see them being very vocal. So again, when I have conversations, I'm talking about things that are relevant and things that are happening around me. But if you guys, again, insist that I talk about Asian relationships, let's talk about it. Asian women and Asian men are dealing with very similar issues as the Black community. Asian women primarily date and marry Asian men. However, within the media, it is portrayed as though that Asian women are dating and mixing and mingling with outside the race. So again, very similar to the Black relationships, right? Asian women statistically are the most desired women when it comes to dating apps. On the flip side, Asian men are the least desired men when it comes to dating sites. Okay, and I am going to share those dating statistics because it is going to ruffle some feathers, but I'm not the only person on dating apps swiping left and right, okay? Overall, this is just the consensus. Asian women are desirable, Asian men not so much. Even within the media, we see Asian women often fetishized, sexualized, and sensationalized. Asian men are often emasculated. They're often seen as the nerd, the accountant, that support factor, but not the main character, right? Bruce Lee was really the first guy that Hollywood say, yeah, I guess you can be a little sexy. But before that, Asian men have never represented what masculinity is within the West, okay? So that is an issue whenever, once again, the conversation comes to why are Asian women not dating Asian men? And it seems as though we are talking down to them, like you guys saw in the intro clip. It's literally the same talking points that Black women have towards Black men. We don't care if you guys date white women, just don't shit on Black women. And the thing is, I don't think that Asian women are shitting on Asian men, and I don't think Black men are shitting on Black women. I think it's just being misinterpreted. And again, because we are combining what society is telling us and how we're being treated by the opposite gender, as well as partial insecurity or partial uncertainty within yourself, the lack of confidence within yourself, right? And, you know, it's just an interesting dynamic to observe and describe. So anyways, I am for sure going on a tangent. We are 7 minutes in. Hopefully I can cut it down and edit this video out. If you stuck around this long, then you're a real one. Please do like and subscribe. Let's get into today's video.
That, oh, Asian girls are always with like white boys and they're getting colonized. And
The only reason why girls get the most hate is because of the internalized racism. A lot of Asian girls love coming on this platform and preaching that they love white men and that they'll never date an Asian guy, their own kind.
Okay, and that is another Asian content creator. I believe his name is Jarrell. But I just want to, again, show the similarities because a lot of times there are Black women within social media that say Black men just come online and go on podcasts to shit on Black women. And I quite frankly don't think that's the case. I think it is just criticism with certain personality traits, characteristics, as well as certain, I don't know, would you call it phenotypes, but certain generalizations, right? Like a lot of Black men will say that they want a fit woman. And statistically speaking, yes, genetically Black women, superb, cream of the crop, right? You guys are literally blessed, but you guys sleep on the blessing a lot. So it's like when you go to the gym and you see a whole bunch of Beckys in there actually trying to do whatever to stay in shape and a whole bunch of Asian cardio bunnies, you're not seeing that same energy and effort from Black women. And of course, this is not a generalization or a blanket statement across all Black women. Like I used to be a fitness competitor and I was on a Black fitness team. Like all of my fellow athletes, all of the other bikini competitors were all Black females and they were IFBB champions. They were on the Olympia stage. So no, I am not saying that all Black women are not in shape. It's just that the lack of effort comes with some community. Within the Asian community, a lot of Asian men are stereotyped to be shorter, to be smaller in their frame, to be more feminine, to be a little bit more beta. So once again, it is just a stereotype and an overgeneralization, right? Because No, not all Asian men are like that. Like you have Manny Pacquiao, super strong, super athletic dude. You have other Asian men that are tall, Jeremy Lin. But the thing is, I want to say off top of my head, and please do correct me in the comment section if I'm wrong, but I believe the average height of Chinese and Korean men, like statistically, is 5'10". So they are relatively similar height to American men, because 5'10" is also the average height here. So it is a stereotype, like I say. But you got to admit, like in certain countries and in certain places, even though Asian men are tall, the shortest of men that you've seen are also probably Asian. Like when you go inside a nail salon, and you know what? I'm allowed to say that, because when I go to Vietnam, your girl who is 125 pounds here in America, okay, I was being nice, 130 pounds here in America, I wear a size small. I wear a 0 to 4, depending on the clothing item. But when I go to Vietnam, me being 5'2" is considered fucking tall. Like I'm considered a giant in Vietnam. I wear a 7.5 to 8 inch shoes, which is average American women. In Vietnam, I have to buy men's shoes. So I'm just letting you guys know, it's like, yeah, like in some places, like the stereotype and the generalization is true. It's just not overall, because again, Asia is a very large continent. Not all Asian men are short, but Khmer men, Hmong men, Vietnamese men, Thai men, Cambodian men, y'all know y'all short. And it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. No shame.
Do you like?
White boys.
I'm not into Asian guys.
Why not?
The thing is, they're a lot shorter than I am, which is something that I can't.
And the thing is, majority of us.
Okay, the last clip, and I'm sorry I had to cut in, but that last clip was actually from America's Next Top Model, and that was from the early 2000s when they were actually holding the standard and level of models where you need to be 5'10", 110 pounds, okay? Like they were looking for that heroin chic early 90s, early 2000s look. Her being an Asian woman and auditioning for America's Top Model, I believe she did even make it onto that season. You know she's tall and lanky. Like Asian men are into that. Like most men, like no, you're not judging a woman by her height, but at the same time, you don't want to date a woman that is 6 inches taller than you. Most men aren't gonna do that. Like just imagine yourself. If you're a 5'10" guy, would you want to date a woman that is 6'4"? Probably not, right? You can get by with 2 inches, right? And she just never gets to wear heels. But you're not dating someone that is extremely taller than you. So for her, who is a tan-skinned Asian woman, I'm sure she's not checking for them and they're not checking for her.
Guys don't care. We just hate that you guys just bash on your own race. Like there's a huge difference between having a preference and like literally like hating on your
And that's
own.
literally what black women
Thing
say
that
about
many
black
Asian
men.
women say, which is not attracted to Asian men because they look like my brother, uncle, etc. Article points out, do you ever see white women or Latina women saying, I can't date white or Latina men
Yes.
because they look like my brother or father? Here's the thing, all women should be able to date whoever they want, but you can date whoever you want without insulting the men of your own race. Ideology hurts our whole.
At the end of the day, just do you, girl. Whatever makes you happy. Just don't make us feel any less than.
The girls clip on the Eggs and Bean podcast, she didn't deny the dynamic. She just said, I don't love the narrative. I don't love how that is the way it is, but she didn't deny it.
Yeah, she's basically not taking accountability, and she's saying, I don't love the truth.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's basically what she's saying. Yeah.
It's not
Right.
that I don't love the truth. I don't like how it's being interpreted. It's the same thing. It's like black men don't want to be seen as, oh, as soon as you make it, you leave and marry a white woman. Like most black men don't see it that way, and most black men are not making decisions as to who they're marrying because of their race. The reason why some of my videos have been more specifically about the black community is just because it's more relatable, it's more understood, and it's more observed and discussed. But again, this dynamic exists within the Asian community as well. But I'm on the flip side. Like, y'all think I'm pandering to black men? So probably on the Asian women and Asian men conversation, I'm on that side. I'm on the side that is desired, and I'm on the side that is leaving. Okay? So maybe that's why I'm a little bit understanding.
She doesn't like how people are reacting to this dynamic that I guess everybody is acknowledging. Both Darrell is acknowledging it, and Sunnyside TV is saying, yes, perhaps a sizable portion of Asian girls seem to date white guys, but this is how the narrative spins from that point. They're arguing or I guess having feelings about it. Right?
No, and my point is like, because she's like, oh, and then when Asian guys date out, oh, they get celebrated. I'm like, yeah, that's because it's like Jeremy Lin. He's the only Asian in the NBA. He's going to get celebrated because it's just rare. I'm not saying it's better.
Beating the odds.
It's just not, it's not necessarily better than everybody. It's just rare. And it's like,
See, and again, like, okay, so this is the Fung Brothers. They're actually one of the first channels I followed when I created a YouTube account and started watching YouTube. I believe they're Chinese American, right? And they're on the West Coast. So they make a lot of Asian specific content. Because the thing is, within the West Coast, Asian Americans have been around for a lot longer. You're going to find people that are 2, 3, 4 generations deep and still Asian within the West Coast. Whereas like where I'm at within Atlanta, you only start seeing Asian people the last 20 years or so. Like you start seeing us back in the 90s, maybe 80s, right? But for Vietnamese people, it was the 90s. I have a best friend. She is Burmese. She is one of the first Burmese families to come to Atlanta. And she came here when she was 9 years old. So only 20 years ago. And she was a founding Burmese family in the community here in America. So what I'm saying is like the generation of Asians within the East Coast might be a little younger, might be a little bit more closely aligned to, you know, back at home. So once again, the conversations that I have, I focus on relevance and how many people can actually relate to because I want to make a change, right? I'm not going to really have a conversation focused on Asian women dating white men as much on the East Coast because for the Asian community here, it's not that big of a problem. Like I said, go look at the go look at the YouTube reel that I have. That was from a bridal party that I had 2 weeks ago. There's a dozen Asian girls there. 99.9% of them are Vietnamese, and they're all married to Asian men. So it's really not a big problem of Asian women not marrying Asian men. It's more so the modernized, Western-minded Asian women on the West Coast and maybe the Northeast, like New York, Boston, Virginia, Jersey, like that type of area, and them not selecting the Asian guys.
like, you know, representation.
Yeah, I think it's weird to like.
I completely forgot my point as to why I hit pause. But very similarly within the Black community, for some reason, Black women get to comment as to why successful Black men date outside of the race. However, you really never see any criticism or scrutinization when it's women like Kamala Harris, Kentaji, Candace Owens, Jean-Kareem Pierre, Don Lemon. There are so many Black women that marry or date white men, but it's not scrutinized. But whenever you see a Black man who just have a couple of light-skinned women on his yacht, Michael B. Jordan, Chris Brown, Drizzy, y'all get criticized. So it's very similar, right? Asian men, when they marry a white woman, oh my gosh, representation. This is great. You beat the odds. Asian women marrying white men or Black men, why do you have this self-hate? Where is this self-loathing coming from? Where is this entitlement mindset? Why are you looking down on Asian men? It's like, again, this is literally Black Mirror. This is an alternate reality where Asian women are dealing the same thing as Black men. And maybe that's why they end up dating and marrying each other. Hot take.
Kind of like keep score of like what, like, you know what I mean? Like, well, this race dated 45 white men this month, man. And then we got 72 Chinese is catching up. It's like, what do we, it just sounds like a bunch of like single bitter people. Because if you're happy in a relationship, you don't care what other people do with their dating
I see
life.
what you're saying too. I totally think that what you're saying is true, but you acknowledge that if we were to keep score, the scores might be kind of far from each other.
Let's just say a lot of people on the internet keep score.
Yeah. No, if
I told y'all I kept score. I know all the Vietnamese and American biracial people within Hollywood. Kim Iverson, I see you. Olivia Munn, Aaron Rodgers' ex-girlfriend and host of G4, I see you too. Karrueche Tran, Lil Wayne the Fourth. Yeah, Lil Wayne's son, Vietnamese. I bet y'all didn't know that, right? Tyga, Vietnamese. Nikita Dragon, Vietnamese. Okay, like we're everywhere. I keep track not only of the biracial Asians, but specifically the biracial Vietnamese. I keep score. I do.
We kept score. Oh man, it's.
Do you go out with Asian guys at all?
I have. Do you want me to tell the story? Because it's not a good one and I don't want people to like not date Asian guys. He was Japanese, so we went to a sushi restaurant. He kind of like criticized how I was going about my life. And then we went to a sushi restaurant and I dipped my sushi in the soy sauce. And you're not really supposed to do that in Japan. Like I think there's like a proper way to eat sushi. And he like criticized me on doing that. I was just like, I don't want to be with a guy that's constantly telling me how to live my life. But that didn't work out. And then the second guy, he was Korean. We went to a Korean place. He ordered for me. He didn't ask me what I wanted. Food was good, whatever. I always offer to pay on the first date and he let me pay. It was such a cheap dinner, but he just talked about himself the whole time.
First thing she said is she did go on a date with a Japanese guy. However, he criticized her as far as how she was eating the sushi. And the thing is, the overarching, I guess, theme here that I see is relevant or similar to the Black community is that there are some women that when they date a Black man, they have a certain level of expectation or a certain standard. However, whenever they date the white man, and I'm talking about Black women, for some reason, when you date the white guy, and I do have a video coming up on it, and it's called the Black Wife Effect. But for some reason, you're okay with dating a dusty white guy and helping him level up, but you're not okay with dating a Black man that is working on himself and helping him level up. A lot of Black women expect Black men to be ready-made, and that's the thing. A lot of Asian men expect Asian women to act and behave in a certain way, but if that Asian guy was going on a date with Becky and she dipped her sushi in soy sauce, it would not be criticized. It would be, oh, well, Becky is just ignorant. I'm going to teach her. I'm going to show her. But with the Asian girl, it's going to be, well, you should know better. You see? So again, I'm trying to draw these correlations as to why I do have certain conversations and neglect others, okay? Because to me, same, but different.
Different faces, but inside, we are same, but different, but still same.
The second point was when she went on a date with the Korean guy, and again, he wanted to demonstrate the more masculine role and order for her. However, when she suggested to split the check, he agreed. So again, he wants the traditional role of being able to tell her what to do, but want her to also uphold the Western ideology of equality and split for the bill. Well, if I'm paying for my bill, you're not making the decision. So again, it's very similar to Black men and Black women. I'm going to make the decision. I'm going to make the shot on where we go out to eat. However, as a woman, I still expect for you to pay, and I still expect for you to pay for the valet and open my door. So it's like you want traditional things, but at the same time, you want the modern update that benefits you, right? Asian man, you want to make the decision, but you didn't pay. If there's even one Asian girl that is watching this video, please do comment. Let me know if Asian men traditionally do not fight for the bill, even when they're going out with your family or they're going out with their friends. Within the Asian community, it is very standard and typical for men to argue over the bill as to who is going to pay. Not to who is going to split the bill or who is going to take care of it. No, they want the honor of paying for it to show that they have it together, to demonstrate to the rest of the table that I am successful and that this is nothing to me, okay? Also, respect. So anyways, yeah, for this Asian man to be like, oh yeah, split the bill, that is very, very, very Western of you. So for you to expect to order for her, like, get the fuck out of my face, bro. This is why I'm not gonna say. You know what? I'm gonna shut up and keep watching.
I don't think he asked me a single question about myself, and he was a great date. And I was like, yeah, because you talked about you the whole time. And he's like, I'd love to see you again. And I was like, why? You don't know anything about me. I sometimes think I'm just like a little too outspoken or not tamed enough for an Asian guy. Maybe it's just like my daddy issues coming out. My dad sometimes like, shouldn't be sitting like that. Girls shouldn't be that loud.
Asian girl realness. Okay, so I wanted to share that last clip because honestly, she was way too sweet and she was just way too honest. And I relate to a lot of things that she's said because for the most part, I don't judge people and I don't select who I date based on their racial backgrounds. However, I do notice common themes or common interactions with certain groups, right? So I know, and I've shared this in the past, but for the most part, Asian men don't find me appealing. Similarly to when I talk about colorism within the Black community, colorism exists within the Asian community, and I am considered very tan. Even the girl on screen right here, I think she is Korean. I don't really know, but I'm my Asian sense is that she's Korean, okay? She is also considered tan to be Asian. So for me, I was considered, it's almost like, you know, like being super dark skinned. I mean, like, because again, Black comes in various shades, but being a dark skinned guy or a dark skinned woman, a lot of times, like, you don't get that light skin privilege within the community. You know, like, you don't get to behave certain ways. You don't get certain pretty privileges. And that's okay. I've acknowledged that and I've realized that. And part of it might be internalized hatred of Asian people, that you guys can't accept me for me as to why I don't date yellow or fair skinned Asians. Because even if you accept me, how does your family feel about it? Right? But as I get older and I realize that, hey, people, I don't want to say you can't. So I hope you guys enjoyed this last clip because I did want to share her because she seems very genuine and very sweet, as well as very understanding and aware of the reasons why she didn't select the men that she went on dates with particularly. And like she said, it might just be some of her daddy issues, right? Like maybe it's just some of the internalized trauma and situations that she went through as a child that has led her away from dating Asian men that exude those same qualities. So again, when I've said in the past, the fact that Black men have had experiences with Black women through their moms, through their sisters, through their cousins and aunties and friends, maybe some of those character traits within Black women that are good, maybe for him, he does not prefer them for whatever reason. So for some woman out there, she might see this Korean guy as, wow, he's taking charge. He's being a leader, giving me direction. You know what I mean? Like things are interpreted by different people differently. And so anyways, I do plan on to continue to share a little bit more about my experiences of being Asian and Black, because being Blackanese or being Blasian is an experience in itself, especially here in the West, and especially if you relate to one side or the other more. And I also think being mixed race within the Asian community, like legit, like you guys don't even understand the half of it because there's not a lot of videos about it, but there is, like I'm saying, a lot of colorism. So being a Southeast Asian already, you're more tan. So now I am tan, but I'm also mixed with being Black. So as you guys can see, my hair texture, like things that normal American people might not spot the difference about me, another Asian person would. And when I was younger, a lot of that was placed upon me. Like, hey, your hair is not nice enough. It's not smooth enough. It's not silky. Your skin, it's too tan. You know, you're too loud. I mean, if you can tell her structure and my structure, but my body frame is larger than a lot of Asian women. And so just naturally, they're just like, yeah, like you're not what we're looking for. So anyways, back then they didn't want me. Now I'm hot, they mad. But anyways, I've enjoyed this conversation. I hope you guys did too. And I look forward to speaking again with you guys next time. Bye.